Good morning. Friday, 9 o'clock a.m., January 26, 2024. Oh, Windows Daily number something. 374. Let's see. Let's get an audio check. There we go. Got an audio check and unmuting desktop audio so that speaker bot messages can come through, and I have the users tabs open. This users tab on SpeakerBot is supposed to show me who's in the chat room. I think it's actually supposed to show who's in the chat room, not just who has triggered messages, but it seems to be broken. And that's the technique that is needed for me to be able to assign specific voices to people. So that, so far as a no-fly zone. From email from Doug to Doug, I've got one here from the chat room yesterday. Lawn Dog, by the way, I just did what I said above, and Can Stout live premiere has disappeared in the pop-up recall section. There was another Dragon Naturally Speaking error. He said, am I properly dismissing? And Dragon Naturally Speaking picked that up as the letters M-I. Properly dismissing it. Can you show us how to properly dismiss a notification? Maybe I'm missing something. You see a couple notifications come up over here. And notice when I click on this email, it will not come up in front of those notifications. Those notifications are there until I dismiss them. Now, when I took a look at this before starting the show to consider whether I can address this topic today or not, I did not have these, I did not have the notifications correctly configured. Now, if I come down here to the notifications bell icon in the bottom right corner and click on that, I should be able to see notifications that are pending. Now, in the past, when I go to a client's computer, I see a whole bunch of notifications, which means they're not dismissing them. And I said yesterday that if you dismiss them from this lower right corner, they should still show up in this list. And now I'm thinking that I'm wrong about that. This is indicating +1 notification. So I'm thinking there's another notification. Yeah, so those are the two that we saw pop up. But if I click in any manner at all to dismiss them, then they're no longer visible on this screen. And what Lawn Dog is wanting, I think, is for them to still be visible there, or when they pop up here so that they will be behind what he's currently working with. So I don't currently have an opinion or solution for that. I realized this morning that I still didn't have my notifications configured correctly. I did make changes yesterday to do that so we could deal with that. Now with Windows 11, I no longer have the notification settings link in here. So I have to come down to the bell, right click, go to notification settings. But this morning I discovered that although I had turned on notifications, I had not enabled them for Google Chrome. So I was not seeing notifications. So there's another notification down there, and it'll stay there for a little while, but that's Electro Boom. So if I close that and then come back to notifications list, I'll see the ones that I had not dismissed, but that one that I did dismiss is no longer here. Let's see, 30. Oh no, that's for turning focus on. If I turn focus on, then notifications stop appearing. Now this could be something that would be useful for Lawn Dog, because you turn on focus. If you don't want them bugging you anymore, then here it turns on automatically for 20 minutes. Now those messages should no longer show up while I'm working, but I think we'll see a number on this bell later on to indicate more notifications have come in, but they haven't popped up on top, so they would still be accessible. So I'm going to leave that with that focus thing turned on. And if I come back down here, let's look at that again. I don't see the note in session. There's an in session. That's I guess the only thing here that tells me that I'm in a focus session. Okay. Moving on to the next email. Let me get this positioned right to hide his email address. And here we go from Steve Dodd. Hello, Doug. I'm a big fan of your YouTube channel and a subscriber. My Asus laptop is having issue with my wife's user profile after the Windows update January 23rd, such and such. Cumulative update preview for .NET Framework, such and such, and restarted the computer. When I signed into her Windows account, Windows said preparing her account and created a new folder temp inside the users folder and signed in with the contents on this folder, in this folder probably. This gives us the information about the laptop. I back up with Macroom Reflect for full image backups and the file folder backup.
Sorry, I am late. Good morning, everyone.
Hello, John Williams. I back up with Macroom Reflect for full image backups, file folder backup of the user's folder. So this implies to me that he does not do incremental backups or differential backups. That's kind of a, oh no, to me. Maybe we'll talk more about that a little bit later on, but a full image backup. I tried browsing into the January 22nd. So that's a recent backup. Let's see, when was that update? That update was January 23rd. So was the night before. Now, if he's doing a full backup every night, then fine. I'm not worried about differential and incremental backups. I tried browsing into that image, copied the entire contents of the Carla folder back to the Carla folder on the C drive users folder. The copy finished successfully after restarting and signing in. It did not work. No, that would not work. Two reasons is you have not copied the registry elements of the Carla profile. By just doing a file copy, that's not going to fix it. And you didn't take care of the underlying cause why the her profile was actually damaged. Her current profile is damaged. Yeah, I need to say more about that. Let's get on. I could use your help in getting her profile back and removing the temp folder that Windows created. What it actually did is it was unable to log in with her profile. So it's actually logged you in with the profile called temp, which is a copy of her profile, but not fully functional. Maybe this could be used on one of your Saturday sessions. I'm attaching some screenshots and MS info of my laptop. So here's the screenshots. Let's go get to those screenshots. Here's a desktop image. So this is the temp, logged in as the temp profile. It would have the same layout as the Carla desktop does, but it is the temp profile. And that probably looks the same as what the Carla profile is supposed to appear as. Let's see, I better right click and go to the next photo, check it out, it looks okay. And here's a message he's getting a screenshot. The deployment operation was blocked because special profile deployment is not allowed. The special profile in this instance is the temporary profile. It's a special profile, it's not a normal user profile. This appears to me that either a program or Windows itself is trying to apply updates to the currently active profile, but it's a special profile. It's the temp profile because there's something broken about Carla's profile. Please try logging into an account that is not a special profile, such as Carla's profile, but it wants you to log into Carla's profile successfully. You can try logging out and logging back into the current account. It's not going to work because there's something wrong with the Carla profile. Or try logging into a different account. Then here he's just showing us an arrangement of things on the desktop to give us more information about the computer and how it's configured. It has some network information here, the Intel Core i5. None of this is of much interest. We do notice that he's using virtual machines, but this Carla profile is not running under a virtual machine. I'm assuming. I'm very confident about that, but I suppose it would be possible if he just totally decided not to tell me that this is a virtual machine. Now, take that off screen. So there's nothing on that screen that I'm particularly interested in. Now, here is the users folder with the Carla profile folder for his wife, and the temp profile folder, which we might not be logged on as that temp profile when he's giving me these pictures. He might be giving me these pictures while he's logged on as his own profile, which would be this S.Dodd profile. We see here that the temp profile was created yesterday at 10:56 p.m., late last night. So he restarted the computer, and it's quite possible that every time he tries to log into the Carla profile, it's creating a new temp folder with a new date and time. And Steve, I'd be interested for you to confirm that. You were asking about deleting that folder, and I think it will automatically go away. Will it automatically go away when we fix the Carla profile? I'm not certain about that. So this happened just last night, and his email came into me, when was it dated? 9:20 p.m. last night. 9:20 p.m. last night, his email came in. Well, that's interesting. It's he's a little time traveler here. He sent me a picture from the future. Well, I think what it is there is that he's in a different time zone. So he was at a later time when he took this picture, which would make me think that since that is a date and time of yesterday, that it's recreated that temp folder when he restarts. When you sign in under your own when you log out of this profile and log in as your own profile, is that temp folder still there? I don't know. It's not important to the solutions that I'm going to suggest. Now, here's the temp folder. He's showing this temp folder. He could be logged in as himself at this point. The OneDrive folder, he's got that highlighted. That OneDrive folder most likely is not interacting with OneDrive. I think if you check your OneDrive icon down here, I don't know if it'll show that it's synchronized or not. I suppose it could synchronize. Now that's 1:25 p.m. January 25th at 1:39 p.m. So that's earlier than the date of this temp folder. Well, let's not get hung up on that. I don't know how they do that, how they do the time and date stamp for that users folder. It might get updated through certain events. Now, I think that's all of the pictures. So then I'm going to start talking about, let's see. Well, he gives us MS info. I'm not going to go over this at all because I don't need to talk about anything there for this. And he also gave me a .nfo file, which is the Microsoft info, so I could actually open it into system information and explore through his computer. Not interested in that.
He used temp as a username at some point.
No, he didn't use temp. Windows created that when it failed to log into the Carla profile. The Carla profile failed, and then Windows creates a temp folder to kind of create a temporary environment for Carla. It should be the same desktop as what Carla has. So you've got an image backup. What I suspect happened, Steve, I'm going to guess that Carla doesn't log in very often on this account, and that perhaps she hadn't logged in since the prior Windows Update round. Whether that's true or not, I'm suspecting that there was a problem with the Carla profile. And what I would suggest is an image backup of the...
Rename the defective profile folder and log in again to let Windows create a fresh profile.
Okay, well, let me finish my ideas first, Rand. He's saying rename the defective profile, the Carla profile, log in again to let Windows create a fresh profile. That's going to be missing her desktop icons and her pictures and her documents. We're going to have to deal with that. So let me suggest a different approach. Make an image backup of as the computer is now, but name the backup file very specifically, includes damaged Carla profile. Then restore the image backup prior to that last Windows update. Log in under the Carla profile and see if it's okay. See if it successfully logs in, and then run a Windows update under that. Then at that point, depending upon the results you got, we could do a backup of the Carla registry. And
Little Doug is playing a game.
Okay, John Williams. Yeah, hold off on the speaker bot for a couple minutes, please. Let's see. Okay, so you're restored back to an old version. You get the Carla profile functional, and then do a backup, a registry backup of just the registry for the Carla profile, which would be the current user. Do a backup of the current user. Well, no, we need to do it of the specific registry Hive, and then restore this damaged image backup and log in as yourself and restore the profile. You actually load the profile for the Carla profile. Now let's see, do I still have reg edit open? Let's get into that. Reg edit. I should have left that open. Okay, so here's get that position so I don't accidentally do something there. Okay, so here's the registry. When you log in as yourself, Steve, that'll be the current user. The current user registry Hive and the current config registry Hive, those are both dynamic registry Hives. They get created dependent upon what username that you sign in as. The users that are on your computer are listed under here under HKey users. One of these on your computer, this is my computer, one of these would be your Carla's registry Hive. So when you restore that older image and do the Windows updates successfully, then sign in under that older restored image as yourself, go to her registry Hive after identifying which one it is, and I'm not going to go into how to do that now. If you wind up going down that road, I'll get into more specifics about that later. But you can export a specific user registry Hive and then restore the damaged image and then apply that as a registry patch to her profile. Now, that's just the thought that I came up with before starting the show. So that idea might get modified a bit, but that's where I'm thinking now, is that your wife's profile was damaged before this last Windows update or had something wrong with it, and particularly if you had not logged into it since the prior Windows update, that could have been what set it up for this issue. That special profile thing, that has to do with the temporary profile that Windows created when you tried to sign in with her account. Now, I think when you currently restart the computer and try to sign in with her account, I think you'll get a message that you haven't given us a screenshot of yet about the profile being damaged, and it's just a brief message that shows on the screen, so you have to be watching for it. Try to take a cell phone picture of that. Let's turn off the speaker bot messages so they don't come in anymore. The only way I can make those go automatically at the moment is by having them on a repeat, and that repeat is not something I want. I want it to do one time, but that doesn't work. Now let's see what the other minds are thinking, and see where we go with that. Now, I have done these kind of surgical registry patches before. Back with Windows 95, I did quite a lot of it. I learned the registry pretty thoroughly shortly after Windows 95 came out. I created a registry course for our college adult school and taught that for a couple of years. If you want to learn a topic well, teach it. Let's get this chat fixed up. And I've done a lot of stuff with surgical registry edits, going back to an older edition and exporting and then importing somewhere else. Josh is the first one in chat. 260 people on his YouTube channel. He's asking for more subscribers. Hello, Alice, Jeff Ryman, and Chit Chat Ran, Israel, Mike Wojcik, Chris Garrett, Greg M. Sai, a long-winded call from a client. Amazon phoned them about a $1,500 charge, and to fix it, they had to get on their computer a nuke from Orbjet job. Yeah, oh boy. Yes, there was a trailer, Dennis. It was this one. Bobby McFerrin, don't worry, be happy. I'm not going to play it because that'll get me a copyright notification off of this video, and I don't mind copyright notifications for the trailers, but I don't want it off my live streams. Dennis given us a link here. I'm going to guess it is a premiere on his channel. Yep, in 4 hours. Richard Rogers, hello, Selden Ball with a weather report. Chris Garrett gives us weather. It's almost spring. Too long ads, he says. Too long ads in the... Ken, I keep forgetting to tell you. I'm thinking maybe nobody's told you. When you play your outro on your show, there's no audio. I kind of doubt that was by intention, because you intentionally mute your Zoom audio while your outro is playing, but there's no audio on your outro playing. You should go back and watch one of your recent shows to see that. It's been doing that for quite a while. Too long ads in the beginning from Ken. Seldom have one skippable ad. Thank you. I do like hearing what's going on with ads. Ken Stout says he's on Google. He probably means he's using Google Chrome rather than Firefox. Forgot to pay YouTube Premium. From Chris. You know, when Doug stopped the music, it must be showtime. Okay. Mike Wojcik, Zvi Menor, hello. Richard Rogers. Mr. Rogers. Richard Rogers. Can we call you Mr. Rogers? There's the speaker bot stuff. Chris, I guess I am Chris Stout. Did I call you Chris Stout somewhere? I wouldn't be surprised for me mixing up names like that. I only have notifications for select YouTube channels, and that is it. Well, thank Doug for exploring this problem with the notifications. You understand it perfectly. I would like to remove the notification as acknowledgement of the notification, but still be able to go back and find it. So if you click it away while it shows up in the bottom right corner, it'll be gone from your notifications list. If you let it go away just by the amount of time, then you can click on the notifications bell icon and still go back and find it. Does that fully answer your request? Because I understood your request to be that you wanted those notifications to be behind. And I think, well, okay, now that it makes sense that you wanted that just so that they would still be available when you want to go look at them. Now, maybe you didn't understand that they only stay there for a certain amount of time and they will go away. Is that sufficient? John Williams, sorry I'm late. He said timer Doug, time ER Doug, whatever. Dennis, by the way, my ISP disconnected my cable again. Modem indicated I lost all 3 of my services, TV, internet, phone, for at least 5 minutes. So there's a notification. Great job. You have completed a focus period. Your break 5 minutes starts now. Now we got a blue icon. So in Windows 11, I'm seeing a blue icon down in the bottom right. Means there are new notifications there for me to go look at. So I click on that. I guess it was just this one. You have completed a focus period. I think I know that I've seen numbers show up down here. Maybe that's a Windows 10 thing, or maybe I haven't had enough new notifications come in yet. Without internet, what are you going to do? I mean, you're not attached to the hive. Don't you feel lost? The hive mind. Borg. I hate it when the internet goes down. I feel like I lost a limb, at least got an injury. Speedy 49. I didn't use bot because of Doug is talking at the moment. Yeah, you can go back and use the bot. I'm over that. Now, while I was trying to keep on that registry topic, I wanted to be not interrupted, but the bot is really good. What I really like it for is if I'm talking about something right now and you want to respond to that, not so much to just say, hi, how are you doing? But if you're to have a two-way conversation about the topic at the moment, that's what really is useful to me. Because when I come down and see your reaction to something I was talking about later on, I often don't understand, what was that about? He used temp as a username. Yeah, and I don't think that was the case. Rename the defective profile. No, I don't think that's the right way to go. If Doug is talking, don't use the bot, Speedy. Well, that's not quite true. It's just if I want you to take a break from the bot, I'll ask for that. And it's a temporary request. Then restore the files and icons for the rename folder. You could go that route, but you could be taking a lot of work to do that, I think. Little Doug is playing a game. Yeah, up there in the corner. For those of you who are dense and did not notice, there is a little Doug up there again. Chris, I have a Canon printer. I have never had a printer so hard to get working. Oh, I have. Jeez. Particularly when they're new printers. They come up with... All right, I'm not going to go down that road. I personally think they should send setup disks. The online setup is useless. Yes, it is. That was a reminder for me to remind you about Ken Stout's Premiere, because he used to have a daily Premiere, and he has fallen off of the wagon for that. Yep, no Premiere. I do have an I have a redirect set up to Kerry Holzman's show, part 2 of 2 parts. The one that he started last week about the 0 something or other build, where it has some unique capabilities for making cable management easier. I'm going to get into Epson. Some of their models send disk, or I don't think so. I don't think you'll find that's true anymore. Or I may buy another HP like I had before. I still have the disk. If you're going to order something off of Amazon, read the comments. Absolutely, got to read the comments about printers. Ugh. Why does Josh keep saying timer, Doug? Oh, he's hearing the timer. He's hearing my cell phone timer. You know what? I've just been punching it away, and I haven't been doing. I'm supposed to relax, stress out. Don't worry, be happy. New HP printers, they want you to go to 123 HPT. It's also useless. Printer setups is just a nightmare these days. Hello, Bobby Warren. Had to reinstall Windows 10. That's why I had to send the printer back up. I had to use WPS setup with a pin. So he used his wireless setup to connect the printer wirelessly to the router. My favorite is use a USB cable, and still I've come across new printers that require you to download an app to a smartphone, do part of the configuration there, even to do a USB setup. And I have often found that I can just use a USB cable, use Windows techniques for installing drivers, completely ignore the instructions. Well, actually, I compare the instructions and see if the instructions said I could do that way at all. They do not admit that you can do it that way because they want you to go through their online setup so that they get their advertising and they get a chance to try to sucker you into their ink subscription, which actually is, I have done that a few times with clients, and it's not bad. In fact, sometimes I find it's easier to just drink the Kool-Aid and do it their way. But I've had times when I've done that. I said, okay, I'm going to drink the Kool-Aid. I'm going to do it the way they want. I follow their instructions step by step, 45 minutes later, it's not working. And then I go back to the old methods to configure it. Okay, got that. Windows 95 song, bought it up. Maybe he meant brought it up. Windows 95. Oh, the 95. Song brought it up. Whoops, nope, I'm not going to let that play. I don't know what it is. It didn't sound like a Windows 95 logon sound. How to fix 10 forums tutorials. Yeah, actually, let me show you here. I already had it over here. Here's Windows Club, and well, I got it on Windows Club. You got it on. We can't sign into your account. You've been signed in with a temporary profile error in Windows 10. That's right. How did this? How did they say it? Collections of settings, profile folder, desktop backgrounds. If user signs in, we can't sign into your account. You've been signed in with a temporary profile message. Yeah, that's a message you should be seeing, Steve, when you try to sign in with your wife's account. What are they saying for how to fix it? Restart the computer 4 times to get the desktop. This was fixed a lot. While signed into the account with a temporary profile, open a command prompt. Who am I user? Oh, good. Here's the SID identifier. That's how you're going to find which registry hive is. Are they going the registry route? If this account is a standard user, you will need to get signed out, sign in as an administrator account to be able to continue with the steps below. Press Win and R to run registry edit. Navigate to the profile list. Local machine, they're in the profile list for the local machine. Okay. They're not in the user's registry hive. In the left pane under expanded profile list key, look to see if the SID key from step 4 is listed. Okay, and it should be. Do step 11, only SID without .bak.
Timer, Doug!
Okay, now I don't need you to do SpeakerBot to tell me that my cell phone timer rang. That's going to become annoying. In the right pane of the SID key, double-click and tap on the profile image path, value name. Okay. Enter the correct path of the user's profile. So this would be C:users / Carla. I think I'm remembering the name right. And the user profile for the account no longer exists, and you could delete the SID if the user profile no longer exists. I don't think that's going to be the case. I'm feeling a little bit, I got a red flag coming up about this solution. In the right pane of the SID key, verify the state D word is set with a value of 0. Okay. Right click, press hold, click on rename SID key to only remove the BAK. Oh, what they're doing here is they're enabling a backup of the damaged profile. That'll be really interesting to see if there is a .bak for Carla's profile. Enter the correct path on the user's profile. You can see the name of the user profile and user. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking I'm liking this. Because I think what it's doing is it's taking this temporary profile that said we can't sign you in with the Carla profile, so we've created a temp profile. Is it taking that and renaming that to become the valid Carla profile? Press and hold on the SID key without BAK. Tap on delete. They're deleting it. They probably said do a backup of the full registry before doing any of this, which I definitely would want to do. And maybe even do a backup of each of these user registry hives to give you more flexibility. I feel like I'm reading the same things over again. I'll have to study this closer. Feels like I'm seeing repeats. Yeah, so that's going to take longer to read through. Let's see, back over here, allow deployment operations on this was not better. This one that Zvi gave us is better than this one that I just did a Google search before starting the show. This is for allowing deployment operation on special profiles. There are other kinds of special profiles, but what the special profile that here is happening here for Steve appears to be that his wife's profile, Carla, failed to launch. Blocked because special profile. Yeah, I think I like what Zvi found better. Yeah, I'm not going to read through all that. So let's get back to chat. And thank you, Zvi. Do the Windows 95 song for a trader. Oh, okay. I'll take a look at it for that. I'm aware there's no audio. Oh, he knows there's no audio on the out on the outro. So why not leave the Zoom audio going? Because you guys get into conversation. I want to hear the rest of the conversation, and it's just dead airspace. Just unmute. No problem. Zvi to Ken. Just unmute. No problem with audio. Yeah, well, he knows there's no audio. Does that mean it's intentional? Or he hasn't figured out how to fix it? Doug, if there's a timer setting for the pop-up notification, that might solve the problem. If I can adjust it, having the notification popped out for like 5 seconds or so I can read it. Now, he's on Windows 10, but I don't think there is any adjustment for how long that shows up, although there might be a registry entry that can be done for how long that shows up. There's a Google search for somebody to do. Is there a registry tweak that you can do to change the amount of time that a notification appears? And have it auto disappear. I hear your timer when it goes off. Because now I have to remember that notification, and I may not be able to remember all the notifications I get. So yeah, you just don't dismiss it, and then you'll be able to go back and look at it. Now, there's another thing though. Do you want them to pop up like that? Because I think you can prevent them from popping up and still be on your notification panel. And the way you know there's a new notification is your bell icon would turn blue, or in Windows 10, it does something different. Is it sufficient for that notification icon to change briefly and not see the pop-up messages at all? When you go live at 9 o'clock, so does everyone else that I watch. I get notifications for quite a few. If you're that addicted to the internet, you need help. I don't need help. My addiction works just fine. I don't need anybody to help me do that better. Lawn Dog, it would be nice to have them still listed and available from the side menu. But again, this is silliness that Microsoft does with their products. All right, let me go to notification settings. Let's see, priority notifications in focus. Show the timer in the clock app. That's if you're doing timers. Hide flash, hide badges. Isn't there a way to not get those things from appearing, but yet the notifications still exist? Allow notifications to play sounds, so notifications lock screen, no. Do not disturb. Priority notifications, no. Seems to me there's a way to do that, but I'm not thinking of it. We now have them still listed, available from the side menu. Again, the silliness, it's like they don't even use them. And if they like to put in features and options, what I'm explaining should be adjustable to do by choice. Alice heard the timer. Just because I read the mention about timer. Relax. If I don't do this, people, I wind up an hour after the show with a migraine headache. I'm sorry, you're just going to have to put up with it. Has printer PTSD like me? Well, post-traumatic stress disorder. It's not a disorder, it's a feature. Comes out as Friday, duh. I hear everything all the time, LOL. I hear voices. HP said they are not allowing people to use third-party cartridges to protect the end users from viruses. Yeah, right. That's the reason. It doesn't have anything to do with them wanting to make the money from selling cartridges. They actually put chips on the cartridges now, and if you put in a cartridge that doesn't have that chip, you're in trouble. And the cartridge manufacturers have come up with various methods so that you can move a chip from one cartridge to another. I've tried that. What a nightmare. My clients know, I'm just telling, hey, tough bananas. That's the expense of printers. The only reason why this is painful to you is because the price of the printer is so cheap. Hey, count your lucky stars. The other way for this whole marketplace to go would have been for printers to be way more expensive than they are. You can buy printers cheap. They make the money on the ink. If you don't like that, then you would be paying a lot more for the printers and the ink would cost less. Somehow, way back in history, the whole printing industry just went down the path of competing with each other on the price of the printer and then making their money on the ink. That's the way it is. Drink the Kool-Aid. Mike Wojcik to Greg, have you seen Louis Rossman's video on that? I can imagine. Okay, done. It looks like minimum time done. Looks like minimum time, a notification flag should show itself as, the notification flag should show itself as 5 seconds. That's how long it's lasting. And can be up to 5 minutes. But guess what? I don't think it's functioning correctly. So seconds, 7 seconds. Let's see if that makes the function work again. You know how sometimes needs the function turn off to make it work again. Did you find a place to adjust the number of seconds that those show? Because it kind of looks like you found a place to make it up to 5 minutes.
It's the same with Gillette razors. Sell the shaver cheap. Make money on the blades.
That's right, Jim. See, that's the way to use SpeakerBot. Participating in what I'm talking about right now. Thank you, Jim. Timer again. See if it makes the function again. You know how sometimes needs the function. Oh, I already read that. Now I need a notification pop up so I can watch it time out. Greg M. canceled his Amazon Prime effective tomorrow. And why was that? I don't know. I lost that. SpeakerBot going to become annoying, do you think? Yes, if people use it for reasons that are not, really part of the show. I'd rather you not come in with just, hi, Doug, I'm here. No, don't need that on SpeakerBot. Run a quick scan with Windows Defender, give you a notification, though there may be quicker ways. Well, that's only going to happen if you have notifications enabled for Windows security, because you can turn on and off notifications for specific things, notifications from other apps and senders. So let's see, here's Microsoft Defender. I turned it on this morning. Normally I have it off because I don't want notifications for that. So if you're getting a lot of notifications when you turn notifications on that are a nuisance, well, come in here and turn off the ones that you don't want. Turn on the ones that you do want. This is sorted by most recent. You can change that to sort by name. And another thing that's...
Get a laser printer and not an inkjet printer. Love my brother laser printer.
Yeah, that would be fine unless you want color. And then you could do color laser, but if you're doing color, I'd rather have ink. Anytime you're using ink, you got to make sure you're using it often enough so it doesn't dry out. But if you're just doing black, I'd far prefer a laser printer. Down here at the bottom, additional settings. Be aware of this. Now, what was this? Show the Windows welcome experience after updates and when signed in to show what's new and suggested. Have you had the experience Windows Update comes along and then it's got all these extra screens for you to go through before you get to your Windows desktop, and it tries to sucker you into signing in with a Microsoft account? Well, come here and remove this check mark, because by default this check mark is on. Suggest ways to get the most out of Windows and finish setting up this device. I think that by default is on. Get tips and suggestions when using Windows. Now, based upon the privacy settings when you installed Windows and when you created your user account, you might not have these on by default. But this additional settings, when you go to work on somebody else's computer, particularly after Windows Update, and they call you, oh, I got this thing on my screen. What's going on? It's not going to my desktop. Come in here and remove these check marks. Because this is not the notifications panel over on the bottom right corner of the screen. I got to put my hand to the left to show you the bottom right corner of the screen. This is after an update. The Windows welcome experience. Goodbye. Get rid of that. Never signed up for Prime because I found my orders usually showed up within 2 or 3 days at the most anyway. That's true. I use Prime because of the free shipping and the easier returns. And also I do watch Amazon Prime. Not a bad idea. Winter mute. I just turned it on. Quick scan, though only the thought is it's a different kind of notification rather than like Google notifications. But let's see. Not a Prime user, never paid shipping, but recently found out that Prime users get a cheaper price than... Yes, that's true. It can be a cheaper price. Bring up an interesting thought. The function of notifications in our suggested scenario sounds like it's a global, meaning Windows notifications and other notifications like browser. Doug, there is an adjustment for time. It's in display settings somewhere. Well, I'm not going to go there now because I'm already over time. Taking a glance, see how far behind I am. Oh my gosh, I'm far behind. So I'm going to read through the rest of that after ending the show. There's the email address if you want to send a question for me in the chat room to respond to. And tomorrow, Saturday, I think I'm going to have a list of topics that I'm looking forward to doing. At least in part, the topics that I had listed last Saturday when I canceled that show. And I think there's some other topics too that I'm interested in us getting into. All right, have a great Friday. Have a great Friday, everybody. Goodbye. Stop streaming.